Hi everybody, Rob Kennedy from the Hoop Group, and once again we're talking recruiting. You know, it's the end of the school year and you think back to your grammar school days, and one of the exercises a teacher would always do is, what are you going to do this summer? And for us as basketball players, it's a huge question. The way the NCAA sets up the recruiting process and the recruiting calendar, this summer is such a big part and one of the most important periods in your recruitment as a student athlete. So we've got to put together the best summer plan and the best summer schedule that we possibly can, but remembering that it's different for everybody. You know, what grade are you in? All right, if you're a rising sophomore or freshman, your schedule is going to be different than a rising junior and senior. As a freshman and sophomore, yeah, you want to get some exposure, but the most important thing is, am I going to be in a place where I'm going to continue to get better? Because at the end of the day, at that age, that's way more important than getting seen by people. As a junior and senior, it's got to be a combination of where am I going to get better, because you got to continue no matter what's going on, no matter what year you are, you still got to get better. But also now it becomes where am I going to get seen. And so again, you know, it's different for everybody, even within juniors and seniors. What level are you going to be playing at? What level do you think that you're capable of having success at? If that's a Division I player, well, remember, on the boys' side, Division I coaches are out for 3 weekends in July. On the girls' side, you've got 2 10-day recruiting periods. So if you think you're a Division I player and that's who's mostly recruiting you, you've got to be totally focused on those recruiting periods. Going someplace in June thinking that you're going to get seen by people, that's not going to happen. But likewise, if you're a Division II and Division III player, you've got to know their calendar as well. For Division III coaches, they're out the entire summer. For Division II coaches, they start in June and end on August 1st. So you've got to make sure that you know what level you are, and you've got to be where coaches that are going to be at that level to recruit you are going to be. If you go to an event and there's all Division I coaches and that's all that's there, and you're a Division III player, well, guess what? There was all this exposure going on, but it wasn't the right exposure for you. So it's really important that you, again, self-assess your game, figure out who's recruiting you now, what level realistically you can play at, and set your summer schedule up according to where those coaches are going to be. There's a couple of ways that you find out where coaches are going to be. Past performance, where have coaches gone in the past? Go to different events or tournaments or camps and find out what coaches have been there. But the best way is to ask college coaches themselves. There are camps that say they get hundreds of college coaches. There's not one college coach that shows up at that camp. There are lots of them that say that. Find out. You go to an elite camp, you know you're going to get hundreds of college coaches each and every session, from high-level Division I down to Division II and Division III. All right, but don't take my word for it. Make sure that you talk to college coaches and ask them. They'll give you an honest evaluation, because there's a lot of people out there that are claiming that they get you exposure, but that doesn't happen. All right? And then as well with your summer schedule, you've got to make sure that it's realistic, that you've got recovery time built in. You can't go play at major events for 6 straight weekends. It's not going to happen. Your body's not going to be able to recover enough. You're not going to be able to be at your best. Set a realistic calendar so that you're maximizing all your opportunities to get seen by people. All right, remember, 3 weekends or 2 10-day periods on the Division I for the boys and the girls. It's hard to take one of those 3 weekends off if you're a Division I prospect on the boys' side. But you've got to gap it to make sure that you've got enough recovery time. And then finally, when you do come on up with your schedule, and we'll talk more about this next week, make sure that college coaches know where you're going to be. All right? Again, if you've got any questions, comments, please give me an email, shoot me an email at robk@hoopgroup.com.